Welcome back to Salvy and Quinn, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, a really different video. I'm going to be doing a Euro 2020, kind of Euro 2021 now, I guess, prediction video. As you can see, got my graph all laid out here. I like to do my graph, my bracket, I guess. I like to do them physically so that I have like a thing to hold. I'm going to take it game by game, what I think is going to happen. I'll go in order that the games would actually happen, and then I'll take a little break to like draw all the flags in once we go from round to round. I think we'll have some fun with this. Italy and Turkey. I'm expecting Italy and Turkey, good game. I won't go in this in depth for every single game, but because it is the opener, I think Italy will score first. Halftime would be 1-0 Italy, then Turkey tie it up. Italy go back in front with what they think is the winner about the 83rd minute, and then Turkey bring it home with about an 88th minute equalizer. So I think Turkey get a big tie here. Really, really important for the structure of the group. So that's going to be 1 point each. As you can see, done the 1 and 1, and then 2-2 is the score under that. Next up is Wales, which, fuck Wales, I hate drawing that flag. Wales and Switzerland. Wales are an interesting team because a lot of people I think are going to expect that they are going to do just as good as they did in 2016, or at least make a push for that. Maybe not many people expect them to get semi-final, but I think people will still expect them to do well. But this isn't the same Wales team that it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I guess, when the tournament actually happens. Gareth Bale isn't really in his prime anymore. I haven't heard Robson Kanu's name in 4 years, and Allen, Ramsey, I don't think they're at the top of their game. So I'm going to give this one to Switzerland. Switzerland are a good side that have got to the round of 16 in the last three major tournaments. The 2014 World Cup, the 2016 Euro, and the 2018 World Cup. They've never been able to win that first knockout game, but they've always been there. So big first day for Switzerland in Group A. We'll just keep it moving down. Denmark and Finland. I'm going to give it a 1-0 victory to Denmark, which I think is I think they should be winning that by more, maybe 3 goals at least. Next is Belgium-Russia. I think Belgium are one of the two favorites. I think Belgium are going to act like a favorite should act, and it's just going to be a 2-0 victory to Russia. Russia are a good side. Surprised everyone by making it to the round of, the quarterfinal in the World Cup 2 years ago. 2-0, I think. Next is definitely, I don't think there's any debate, this is definitely the group of life. This is the easiest group. Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia. Used to be just Macedonia, but I guess they wanted to be more north. So Netherlands are not actually the seed for this group. Ukraine are actually the seed because of UEFA wanting qualification to be more important. So they made it be, if you do well in qualification, you get a higher seed when the groups were made for this tournament. So it's not actually Netherlands that were the seed is basically just the best team in the group. But Netherlands are actually the best team in the group, and that's why in the opening game I think they're going to beat Ukraine. Probably 2-1. I think it's close. I think Ukraine proved me a little bit wrong by actually, getting a goal and making it close, but I think that's it. But I'm going to give Austria a 4-1 win. I'm going to say that they come out and they just destroy them. But North Macedonia do get their first goal, their first kind of competitive Euro goal. So that'll be fun. Next up, not a game that you would think was just a World Cup semifinal, but it was England versus Croatia. Now, England has gotten way better since the World Cup, and Croatia has gotten maybe not way worse, but definitely worse. So I think this game, I don't see it going, unless England absolutely choke, which is possible. Although this new generation of England players don't seem to choke as much for the national team. But, I mean, they still do, but it's not as much. So I'm going to say 2-0 to England, and just showing that England kind of did grow while Croatia aged, I guess. All right, next is Scotland. Now, Scotland, actually a really hard flag to draw. Like, getting the angles is actually really difficult for this flag. Flag aside, Czech Republic are a really young, exciting team, and Scotland finally made it to a tournament. So both these two teams are going to really want to get a win. And I'm going to give it to Scotland just because I want Scotland to do well. I am part Scottish. My last name is Scottish, and after seeing the celebration of the Scottish people when they finally made it to the Euros, I can't help but want them to do well. So I'm gonna say that Scotland come out, and it's definitely a surprise. I'm not saying that this is something that should happen, and I'm gonna give it a 2-1 win. Spain and Sweden. I think it's gonna be Spain. I think Spain are a really good side, and I think Sweden are a really good side. And I'm just going to give it to them 1-0. Nothing crazy. And Poland, I think they will get a 2-0 victory over Slovakia. So they will be leading this group after one match day. The game against Hungary is arguably the most intense game there's going to be, because if you're one of the big three teams, you have to win against Hungary. And I think Portugal will squeeze it out 1-0, but Hungary will show that they're here to fight. And then, actually only the second draw that I'm doing today so far, France and Germany. I think this is a game that everyone's going to be hyping up, and yet it'll be really boring. That's what my prediction is. I think it'll be a really boring game, 0-0. Turkey versus Wales. I hate it when a team goes home with 0 points. And I don't like predicting it because I like it to be a little bit interesting. So I'm actually going to give this a tie, because I don't think Wales are going to get a win or a tie against Italy. And I'm going to say 1-1. I think Turkey are feeling good about tying Italy, and then they kind of just get tripped up on themselves and can't get past Wales. 1-1. Italy, kind of in a huge game. They need to get a win. If they draw this, suddenly Switzerland are leading the group. And if they lose this, I mean, they're in absolutely dire problems. But they're going to show that they are a favorite, they are a big team, and they're going to get a solid win. 2-1. Nothing crazy. I'm going to say 2-1, but they were knocking on the door to the point where they probably should have won by more. It's going to get interesting here because Belgium is going to continue being a favorite by winning 2-0 yet again, this time against Denmark. And Russia are going to do the same, winning 2-0 against Finland. So Belgium are qualified through, and let me get us going by drawing that flag. Belgium, the favorite, is already qualified through to the knockout stage, first place, doing well. Next up is Netherlands and Austria. So Netherlands-Austria, 2-0 for Netherlands. And then Ukraine and Macedonia. How many do I want Macedonia to lose by? I will go 5-0. This spot right here. So let me get that flag going. All right, Netherlands and Belgium through to the knockout round after match day 2. The two teams that co-hosted the 2000 Euro through the knockout stage. Next up, England-Scotland. And England-Scotland, I think I would love to say that this is a drama-filled game, and I'm going to, even though I don't think that'll actually happen. 3-2 for England. I just can't let Scotland win this game. There's no way they actually would. And then Croatia, I mean, as much as I'm kind of trashing them, saying that they're getting old and all that, they are still a World Cup runner-up just recently. So I'm going to say they get 2-0 victory. And not only does that eliminate Czech Republic from the tournament, I'm not sure if I mentioned that Finland, North Macedonia, and now Czech Republic are all eliminated. But it also qualifies England, so let me draw that flag as well. We're getting a lot of qualifications, a lot of early qualifications here. But I'm going to have my first really spicing it up here, I think is how I'll describe it. I'm going to have Sweden. They're going to beat Slovakia, and they're going to put the hurt on them 3-1. Nothing crazy, but they're going to get some goals. Get that goal differential up. 3-1. But Poland's going to beat Spain. And they're going to beat them 2-0. They got 2-0 victories in their locker. So Spain a little shaken up, and it's going to be a stressful matchup. Now, you might be looking at this group, be like, all right, start drawing Poland's flag, but Poland are no way qualified through. Sweden could beat them, and then Spain could beat Slovakia, and they would all be tied. So Poland is in the knockout round, just like Italy is, but they could be a third-place team, for all we know. Germany and Portugal, I think it's going to be another draw. This one's a little bit more exciting, and it ends 1-1. This will be a good game for Portugal. I think they'll be the ones, like, attack. Germany's kind of like, hold up. And but I think Portugal's going to be leading this group. Oh, but France is going to have 4 points, right? Nope. Remember how I gave Wales 1 point against Turkey just a little bit ago? I'm doing the same thing here. Hungary, I hate it when teams end with 0 points, and I think France just, unlike Belgium, who are already qualified through, I think France just gets a little bit, doesn't really start it up quick enough, and it's going to be a 1-1 draw for France. So, really interesting group. Portugal looking golden, but they still have to play France. France is going to need a win in that game, so you know they're going to be coming out hard. And Germany, yeah, they only have 2 points, but just a win against Hungary would be enough. But things could go really wrong in that group if it is Hungary that beats Germany, or Portugal and France is a tie. We could see only Portugal and Hungary going through that group. So that's a delicate group of death right there. Let's start with the easy one, Italy versus Wales. It would really throw a wrench into things. Wales would finish above Italy if they were to win, but that's not going to happen. It's just going to be a Italian win, and Italy get better and better as this group goes through. They tie their first game, then they win their next, and then they blow them out in the second one, 3-0. Turkey has a chance to get second if they win, but Switzerland are going to hold on. It'll be a very defensive game from Switzerland, and it'll just be a 1-1 draw. I think Switzerland probably get like an early goal, and then just kind of hold on. Turkey get an equalizer. Turkey tie all their games. This is what I'm predicting. Belgium play all their reserves, so they actually only win this 2-1. I think Finland get their first goal of the tournament, and they're proud of themselves getting just a 2-1 loss against a team that probably could win the tournament. Then Russia, Denmark. I think this is a very interesting matchup. And I think a lot of people would take Denmark. I think a lot of people would take Denmark. Rightfully so. But I'm going to take Russia. I'm going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the works. Netherlands, same thing, are going to rest all their players. So they're going to win against North Macedonia, but they only win 3-1. It's actually a little bit closer. And North Macedonia, again, can go home. Kind of same situation. They can go home with a little bit of, happiness that they did really well. Now, Austria have a goal differential of +1 right now. So they're looking really good. And this is what I think happens. I'm going to throw some drama in. Ukraine go absolutely fucking nuts, okay? So they get the win here. So Ukraine, I think, win 3-0 against Austria. I think Czech Republic are a good young team, and I think they play as hard as they can against the reserves of England. So I think Czech Republic go home with a win. Let's say just a good 2-0 win, like a good, good win. But England don't care, they're already qualified through. And then I would love to say that Scotland somehow beat Croatia, but it's not going to happen. In fact, Croatia, I think they win. And what's Scotland's goal differential right now? It's even right now. So they win by 2. I think they win 3-1. So Scotland, same boat as Austria right now. Not only does that confirm that Denmark will be going through, but I think it looks like it's going to be Austria and Scotland, the two third-place teams that don't go through. But we'll see. We'll see how the final matches go in the other groups. All right, here's where I'm just going to cause some havoc, all right? So Spain's playing Slovakia, right? I mean, actually, Spain and Slovakia and the Poland-Sweden game would happen at the same time. But Spain is playing Slovakia, and they win 1-0. They get a solid, just 1-0 victory, nothing crazy. Problem is that didn't really get their goal differential up by much. They only won 1-0. So their goal differential is even. They've got 6 points, and they're even. So all that's going to happen now is, Poland's going to win, right? Sweden will get third. Simple. No, I'm not making it that simple. Sweden are going to win this game. We now have a triangle of teams that all beat each other, and then they all beat one team. So Slovakia, obviously, let's just get this out of the way, they get 0 points. Sweden is going to have 4 minus 1, so that's 3. Goal differential of 3. Poland is going to have a goal differential of 2. There it is. Okay. Sweden wins the group on goal differential. Poland go through second. And Spain get third. That is how that group is going to go. Now, Spain is obviously through because they've got 6 points. France are going to play Portugal, and France literally need to win. They're the world champions, and this is the team that beat them in the final 5 years ago. France aren't going to let this one slip. They're going to win, and they're just going to win a comfortable 2-0 win. Germany, same thing. They're a really good side. They're not going to let this slip through. They're going to win as well. So it ended up being close, but the result that I think people expected happened. So Germany go through first place with goal differential. Not France. Germany go through first place with goal differential. I'll draw the flags right now, but Portugal, Denmark, Turkey, Spain are the teams that we've got for third place. And then we'll have our knockout round, and from then on it'll just be me deciding the fate of a single game and then moving on and drawing the flags for that. So we're into the final kind of part of the video. The group stage takes so long, but here we go. Let's draw those flags. Switzerland, Russia. Now, Switzerland are a team that have made it to the round of 16 in the last 3 major tournaments. I mentioned that earlier. And I think this is where they break through. I mean, you look at the teams they were playing before, and it was like Argentina, the eventual runners-up in 2014. Poland, a team that could have made it to the final in 2016. Sweden, a team that they probably could have beat, who lost in the quarterfinal. And now Russia. I think each year it's like getting easier and easier for the team they play in the round of 16. I think they finally break through here. I think it's going to be in normal time and a 2-0 victory. Italy, Ukraine. I think Italy, they tied 2-2. They won 2-1. They won 3-0. They're getting better and better as the tournament progresses. This Ukraine team, same kind of thing. They lost only 2-1 against Netherlands. And then they won 5-0 against Macedonia and 3-0 against Ukraine. So these are 2 hot teams. But I don't see any way that Italy's not going to win this. And I think that it's close in the first half, 1-1. And then Italy take control and they win it 3-1 in the end. Netherlands, Portugal. Netherlands just won their group. But my God, were they in an easy group. 2-1 win against Ukraine, kind of tight. 2-0 win against Austria, still kind of not that good. And a 3-1 win against Macedonia. They should have been winning each of these games by more. Portugal beat Hungary. Yes, it was close, but then they tied Germany, the eventual group winners, and they only lost against France 2-0, which I think Netherlands would have probably lost around the same thing. Anyway, it's close, but I think Portugal just have their number. I think they just have their number. In the Nations League last year, Portugal won 1-0 in the final against Netherlands, and I think the same thing happens here. I think Belgium and Spain is really, really close. I think it's 1-1 at the end of normal time. And I think Belgium pull it out to win 2-1 in extra time. England versus France. This is a tough one because France, they didn't do the best. They tied Germany, then they tied Hungary, but they got it together to beat Portugal. England beat Croatia fairly easily, beat Scotland in a little bit of a squeaker, and then they, put out the reserves and lost against Czech Republic. 1-0 for France at halftime. I think it's 2-1 for France at the end of the game. I don't know whether I think England score to make it 2-1, so they were down 2-0 at one point. And I think it's disappointing. But people understand. They understand that they just met up with a favorite, a team that's probably going to win the whole thing. They just met up with them early. They would have liked to have England play 1 or 2 more games in this tournament, but they just met up with the big team. Their only win so far, Denmark, was against a Scandinavian team, and I think they're going to keep that up. I think this is a really exciting game. And I'm going to say it's 2-2. And Denmark win the first penalty shootout of the tournament. What a game that would be. Germany is going to win this game, but it's tight. It's tight. In fact, it goes to extra time. Finally, we got Poland and Croatia. This is also, what a matchup that would be. Holy crap. I think this game, Poland versus Croatia, I think this is the game. Poland's a great side, and I think this is the game that shows that Croatia, their golden generation's over. 4-0 to Poland. Or no, they only scored 1 in the first half. There's still hope, but then suddenly the barrage of goals just starts happening. It ends up being 4-0. They end up just destroying them, and this game is kind of like the marker that sets Croatia, back. Their golden generation's over. This is what this game signifies. let's go through this pretty quick. Portugal versus Switzerland. What else can I say than Portugal? I think you're going to have this. Just like they beat Hungary, just like they beat Netherlands, I don't think they're winning by a lot. I think they're just winning 1-0. Next up, Poland versus Germany. Now, you're probably looking at this bracket and you're probably thinking, all right, France, Portugal, Germany, Belgium, France, Belgium, right? Pretty simple. No, not simple at all, because why would you click on this video to see my prediction if I was just going to say it's going to be a France-Belgium final and then France wins it, Belgium wins it, whoever even cares? No, I'm mixing it up a bit. The first way I mixed it up, Poland win this game. They went 2-1 in normal time. Germany have not been good as of late. They momentarily look to have got it back by beating Portugal, getting first place in their group, but they kind of struggle against Turkey, and they definitely struggle against Poland. 2-1, Poland goes through to a semi-final. France-Denmark, going to be a thrilling game. 4-1 for France. They are showing that they are the team to beat. They beat England. Now they beat a Denmark team. They actually got pretty far. So one side of the bracket was a second, a third, a second, a third. It's now to a third and a second for teams that got out, what place they got out of their group. 4-1 is what France wins it by. Finally, Italy-Belgium. Now, I still have the opportunity to make it France-Portugal, Belgium-Poland, France-Belgium final. But no, I'm going to make it more interesting than that. Not because I don't think it, not because I'm just trying to be crazy and trying to be quirky and make a crazy bracket. No, I generally think Italy are getting hot in this tournament. Belgium just had a really tough game against Spain. And I think this game 0-0 goes to penalties and Italy win it. I think Italy win it in penalties. Portugal-France, it's the second time they're meeting, and I think it's going to be the same result. I would love to say, I am a Portugal fan, if you didn't know. I would love to say that Portugal win this, they get to a final, they win it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they reached the semifinal by getting a pretty good path there, Netherlands and Switzerland, but they get stopped by France. I think France, they beat them 2-1, or 2-0 in the group stage, and I think it's going to be the exact same thing. I think it's going to be 2-0. France to make their second Euro final in a row, and third final, international final total. So 2-0 France and Portugal. Other side. Oh, what an exciting semifinal this would be. Because it's not like these are weak teams. It's not like they're small teams. You know, the last Euro, on one side you had the world champions, Germany, and the hosts and kind of favorites, France. And in one semifinal, and then the other semifinal you had Portugal, who is a really good team, but they weren't expected to go that far, and Wales, like the dark horse of all dark horses. So it's kind of like, okay, the real final is on this half, right? Of course, Portugal ended up winning. This lineup that I've got here, though, France is the clear favorite. I think, you know, they'd be beating Portugal, but Italy and Poland, I think both those teams could beat France, and I think this would be a really exciting semifinal. Because both these teams, I think, have lacked any victories recently. So I think I'm going to give it... I don't think I can give it to Poland. I think I'm going to give it to Italy. Both of these teams just beat monster teams, though. Germany and Belgium. And I'm going to say it's Italy in extra time. I'm going to say it's 2-1 in extra time. I can't do all of this just to have France win anyway. In reality, if this game was actually happening, which team would I put money on to win? It would be France. But who am I going to predict to win? It's going to be Italy. And it's going to be in the same way that they beat Germany back in 2006 in the semifinal of the World Cup. It's going to be 0-0 after full time, and then in extra time, they're going to score 2 goals. 2-0 is the final score. After extra time, both goals coming in extra time. The second goal is like late, like 118th minute, and they basically celebrate like they won. It's basically like a walk-off. France fail for the second time in a row. At least they're world champions. And Italy are officially back after not qualifying for the World Cup 2 years ago. That is my UEFA Euro 2021 prediction. We'll see how much I get right. I've done predictions in the past where I chose the favorite to win because I predicted that Germany would win 2014 World Cup and that France would win 2018 World Cup because I just picked who I believed to be the favorite. This tournament, though, I don't believe Italy's the favorite, but I'm going for it. I'm going to go for it. And will Italy win? Probably not. But there's a lot of things I do think Denmark could make a run kind of like they did. I do think Switzerland could make a run kind of like they did. Poland, Belgium falling short, France beating Portugal multiple times. I could see a lot of this happening. I feel like I could make this really, I guess, real by just making France win this final. But I might as well stick to what I've made here and make France lose the final, make Italy win it. So we'll see how much I get right, what I get wrong. I kind of did this prediction more to have fun and make a cool bracket. Because again, no money is going on this, right? Like, if I was actually putting money on this, I would not make Italy win that final. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoy this kind of style of me making brackets, I really like making brackets like this. And I actually have like tons of brackets, and I think a video in the future I might do would be me flipping through kind of the brackets I've made over the years from when I was 8 to when I was 19. I've made a lot of brackets, and they get better and better over the years. This is a kind of like kind of sloppy one that I just whipped up for you guys, but I would like to do a little flip through of some of my brackets, and maybe I'll do once the Euro is finished in 6 months, maybe I'll do a little little show off of what the true bracket looked like compared to this one. That'll be a fun video. So thank you guys all for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, please do. This isn't the normal content that we do, but thanks anyway. Bye.
Senza fine, una ieri